Hey, reading team. First of all, thanks for your hard work. And we are at that time of year where we have to get students from one reading intervention to the next reading intervention. I do want to just make you aware of something now so you can begin to work on it. It will If you have gaps in your knowledge about this, it will all come together Friday, or I can answer any questions Friday. Or if you want to come see me, I can answer them sooner than that to help you out with this. But I want to give you the system of how we're going to move students from one reading intervention to another, or students from Lit Zone out, so to speak, or from Read 180 to Lit Zone, or from System 44 to Read 180, etc., etc. We're still going to use the schedule change form. I amended it just a little bit for our purposes to make it a little bit more user friendly. So if you have students that are going to need to be moved out of your reading intervention and you need to recommend another one, please get your hands on this form. As soon as I'm done recording this video, I'm going to make copies and I'm going to put it on the center counter in the workroom so you can grab as many copies of what you need. As you can see, we need all this information completed, but when you're completing it, just a couple things. This information here for sure needs to be completed when you bring the recommendation. We can leave this blank because this form will come back to you once the student has been placed, and then you can call the parents so you can give them accurate information of where they've moved from one thing to another. This information before you submit the form right here on this line on down all needs to be completed so that we make sure we're honoring students' IEPs and things like that. You look at the class schedule of a student here, what we would need from you is if you could just fill in their current schedule. If you could complete their current schedule, what classes they have now and what that looks like, that's going to help the reading team adjust and create their schedule so we can make their new reading intervention work. And then obviously I have teacher submitting requests down here. That's a little redundant, so I'll get rid of one of them. And then principal signature will be signed by Lynn or I. When we're making these reading intervention requests, we do need some additional information. So on the back, so this will be a two-sided document. On the back of this document, you'll see this checklist. And it's basically, if you're recommending a student from System 44, you need to go through this checklist. So write down their SPI, I guess it's PI now, and tell us what series they've completed. Attach the System 44 classroom report. That allows us to see what series they've gone through, how many books per series they've done. Just attach that to this. And obviously the schedule change sheet is make sure you have completed what needs to be completed on this side of the sheet. Same thing for Read 180, just a checklist to go through. So here's the deal. Right now, lots of questions, I get it. All I need from you is if you have a student that needs to be moved from the reading intervention you teach to another reading intervention, I need you to have this sheet completed and just hold on to it and be ready to turn it in by the end of the day tomorrow so that on Friday we can start getting students into the right intervention. Now, the next thing I need to make sure you do, if you've not had a chance to do it, when I review this, now I'm in our SRI document where we keep our SRI scores. If you go to the bottom of this document, and I'm trying to see if I can get it in our screen, hopefully there it's in your screen. If you go to the bottom, there's tabs here. What we need is to make sure that your current sections are up to date. All right. So in other words, if this, I think I'm right now in Imagine Learning, let's go to maybe like Read 180 here. So here's the Read 180 class list. If your name isn't in there, you'll see the general flow of this document. Just go ahead and edit it as you need to. But we do need the students in here, and here's why. We need to see where seats are available, and we need to see them quickly without navigating all around Infinite Campus for every student. Do not take a person off your roster just because you submitted a a schedule change sheet. What we'll do as the reading team when we're going through that, we'll make those changes. We'll take them off the roster they were on and put them on the new roster. So if you could just get your current classes in, for instance, Carol, I hope you don't mind if I pick on you here, but here's Carol. She may be teaching different periods. So let's pretend she has a period 2 and 3. The main thing right now, there's a lot of information over here. The main thing right now is just give us a list of the students that are in that class period and their grade. If you at least have that, we'll be good to go to get kids into the right classes, because we can see where seats are available. And as we move kids out of those classes, we'll see where those seats open. Again, I must remind you, just because you're submitting the form, don't take them off your roster. We'll work on changing those rosters as we're moving kids from one reading intervention to the next intervention. So if you're willing and you can do this for me, it will help us on Friday really get rocking and rolling and getting our students into the best, most accurate reading intervention we can in the fastest way possible. Thank you. And if you do have any questions, I'm obviously available. Have me come up to your room, come down to my office, do whatever you can, and I will try to fill in all the gaps on Friday. For now, if you could just do this, if you think a kid does need to be moved. Thank you.